All right, Trev Faulk is the coach here at Lafayette Christian Academy. He was also an outstanding linebacker for the LSU Tigers and for the Lafayette High School Fighting Lions?
Mighty Lions.
Mighty Lions.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by here.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for letting us stop by. So today you see 3 of your kids signed to go to college. That's got to be a real rewarding feeling for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We have some great kids here. They've done a lot of things to build this program here, and it's great when you combine their talent, their character, and the ability that God has blessed them with, and they get an opportunity to go on and fulfill their dreams and be able to get their college education paid for through athletics.
I want to talk to you about the 2 LSU guys in particular. First of all, what a great name, Fitzgerald West. You know, a center is going to go snap the ball for the LSU Tigers, and Walker Howard is walking around here as we speak. He could be snapping it to that guy for a few years and hopefully throwing touchdowns or whatnot. Tell me about Fitzgerald. What's he been like to coach?
Fitz has been awesome. He's a 5-year starter for us. Started here since the 8th grade. Primarily played on the defensive line his first 3 years. Played more both ways as a junior, and then primarily played on the offensive line for us this year. Kind of all of the intangibles you're looking for: high football IQ, honor student, great character, great kid, hardworking, good teammate, good leadership. Everything that you're looking for in a player and in a person. He possesses all of those qualities. Great kid. We love him.
He told me that he talked about your impact on him, which was very thorough, big impact you made on him. And he also said, I think that the number one thing he said is that Coach Faulk taught me to be a man, or I needed how to be a man. Is that, and he talked about, look, I'm going to LSU, and so the pats on the back are going to end once you get out. You know that, right? Everyone's equal. They're kind of all grunts when they get on the field, got to prove themselves, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's really what it's all about for me. Just it's always great to hear those words and hear our kids have an understanding of the big picture and what it is that we're trying to use football to do, which is to help them to develop as young men and as men. And I'm really thankful for Fitz and for the words that he shared.
Jordan Allen, defensive back, cornerback, I think he got offered December the 9th, and there were the photos on social media, you visiting with Coach Kelly, and he got offered that day, like I said, and an emotional day, right, to get that offer and everything. What's he been like to coach?
Jordan's been awesome. Jordan's been awesome. Been knowing Jordan's dad for a long time. We're lifelong friends, and I've kind of seen Jordan come up through the ranks, primarily as a running back, playing with the ball in his hands, and you could tell early on that he was going to be a special kid, a special player. Came here and made the transition to defensive back, and all of the same intangibles that I spoke about Fitzgerald, Jordan possesses as well. Really high football IQ, good academically, smart kid, hard worker, tough, all of those things that you're kind of looking for. So I'm really excited about both he and Fitz bringing those qualities that they have and that have been instilled in them through their families, and that we've tried to reinforce here and bringing those things to Baton Rouge.
And there's also been a lot of talk about getting the guy at LSU who really wants to be there, right, who appreciates the opportunity. You know, not slighting anybody else, but sometimes the 5 stars, they can be wishy-washy and they just don't stick, you know. It seems like both of those kids, but you know, Jordan, to get the late offer and everything, I would think that he's looking to really prove himself.
Yes, definitely. I think there's something special about a kid being here from Louisiana who wants to play at LSU, who has big-time talent, and LSU is his dream school. That's his school. LSU didn't necessarily have to woo him over or do anything extraordinary to prove themselves to him. He wanted them, and the match is there in the pudding. And I think you'll kind of start to see, or at least I'm hoping that you'll kind of start to see more of that, where you have kids who may not have all of the stars that some of the other guys want, but they have all of the intangibles, all of the character, as well as some really good ability, and they want to be at LSU, especially in this day and age of transfer portal and, you know, I leave as soon as things aren't the way that I want them to. You want kids who want to be there.
Yeah. Well, I brought up the story several times about the new NIL deals and stuff like that. It struck me when I interviewed you, one of the things that you said was you and Lionel Thomas were good friends. Lionel had a car. He could give me a ride back to Lafayette. It struck me that a guy like you that was making 100 tackles a year, one of the best players on the team, didn't have a car, you know, to get around. It just really kind of shot down the notion of, you know, you guys rolling around in Rolls Royces and all that stuff, you know. But so anyway, we'll see what happens with all that. And and he talked about, Jordan Allen talked about DBU, and that's a big legacy. And look, this guy right here wore number 7, right? We've talked about the number 7s over the years as well. You know, the number 18's been really played up and whatnot, but man, the 7s, there's been a long run of those too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. We're really fortunate to have some really good players that went on to All-SEC, All-American honors, help the team to win conference championships as well as national championships, and hopefully that'll be a trend that'll continue.
Yeah, and Jordan mentioned Derek Stingley was one of the guys he really looked up to, and although Derek, you know, I think a lot of fans wanted to see more out of him the last couple of years. I looked at the Todd McShay's draft board, and he had him number 4 overall in the draft. So I think he'll be okay. Just your initial impressions of Brian Kelly, meeting him and talking to him.
Really has a good plan, a good vision for what he wants the program to look like, as well as a plan for going out and being able to accomplish it and develop the players. I'm big on player development, on the development of young men, and helping them to grow into being men. And he had a specific plan with different areas and points to be able to help those guys to achieve those things. And so I'm looking forward to him hopefully having a lot of success at LSU.
And change isn't easy, right? I mean, it's not like a clean, you know, you and I have been knowing, I mean, Kevin Faulk is family to you. I've been knowing him for over 20 years. He's as good as gold. We know that. Corey Raymond grew up in New Iberia, has been a big part of that LSU program. We would love to see those guys stick around, but at the same time, Coach Kelly has to do things the way he feels is the best way for him to do it. Yes,
sir, and those are unfortunately some of the more unfortunate parts of the business, of the college football business. Obviously, that was disappointing and heartbreaking to see, you know, Kevin and Corey, you know, kind of move on to some other things. But kind of like you said, that's kind of a part of the business, and it's an unfortunate part.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully they can. If it was me, I would keep Kevin Faulk around in some capacity. I would think he'd be a resource in some capacity. Here's the school's all-time leading rusher. He played 13 years with the Patriots. He won 3 Super Bowls. He played in another Super Bowl. He could be a resource, I would think, but we'll have to wait and see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Didn't mean to put you on the spot. That was a tough spot to put you in. And finally, too, I hear about this. I've talked to several players now. They all tell me Coach Kelly is a lot funnier than you would expect. Sense of humor.
Yeah, he definitely showed some of that, and like the kids talked about, he's definitely funny in person, and I guess kind of the on-TV persona that's there, and obviously in game mode, there aren't too many laughing matters, but he definitely has more of a sense of humor than what I was expecting. Yeah,
and they all said, look, when he flips the switch and it's time to talk business, then it's a pretty noticeable change, and it's talking about business and all that. Trev Faulk, congratulations on all the success. Always great seeing you.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Jacques. Thank you.
All right. Trev Faulk, former LSU linebacker, head coach here at Lafayette Christian Academy, where they are churning out state championships and big-time talent.